Good morning, David. Here's your machine, the Breville Oracle Touch. As you saw in the photos, it is in good condition, I would say. On the outside, what we can see is a couple of dents, a few dents here on the front, one on the left, a few scratches, and a few here. The front tray I've polished already. Before it had this clear coating that was all scratched up and messy. Now it's all clean. And on the inside, the machine is like new. I've just done a full service, so changing the O-rings on the boilers, doing a boiler flush, full cleaning cycle, testing everything, and it is good to go. In this video, I'll be showing you how I make my coffee on these machines, and that's firstly by turning it on and keeping it on for at least 10 minutes. I want the boiler and the grip head and the portafilter to be warm when I come to it, so I would say 10 minutes is a good amount. It takes 5 minutes to heat up, but 10 minutes just to be safe. I also like to heat up the machine a bit more by running a blank shot. So going into the menu, I would select a single or a double quantity of water, doesn't matter. And then put my cup underneath and press the brew button. That's gonna pump hot water into the cup, through the handle, through the grip head. It'll warm up all those components and make sure your coffee is nice and hot. Great. Being a drill boiler machine, you have steam all the time. You have available because it's got a dedicated boiler, of course. But for the sake of the video, I'll be doing the milk and the coffee separately, so that we can focus on what's happening. Okay. Now that the cup is nice and hot, I'll put it aside. The top tray is made of metal and it will get warm if you leave the machine on for like over 10 minutes. I guess you can store your cups here, but they obviously won't get as hot as when you fill them with hot water from the machine. So I'll take out the portafilter. I'm going to dry it with my tissue here. Make sure this is dry before you grind, otherwise the grinder and tamper won't work properly. If there's a bit of water, it might cause some friction in the coffee surface. And this is an automated machine, so you want it to be perfect. Just for your interest as well, I'm going to measure the input and output. With a machine like this, people don't usually measure the input and output, just because it's like an ease of use sort of product. But I'm going to do that anyway. So this is a double basket. All I do is just turn the handle to the right, that's all. The machine will dose, it will tamp, and it will stop grinding when it's full. The only thing I change is the grind size, and at the moment I've got it at 18. I remember I made a coffee at 15 and it was too fine a while ago, and then I made it at 25 and it was too coarse. So I'll try 18 and see how we go. All done. There's a bit of loose coffee, as always. Just do that, get rid of those. This is what it looks like. A nicely tamped surface of coffee. And in terms of the weight, I suspect it's around 24. It's 23.5. So 23.5 grams of coffee. Lock in the portafilter. Get rid of the water in the cup. You also have hot water spout for long blacks, or for whatever reason tea. Some people like to brew tea or make hot chocolate with a hot water tap. to get a bit of water before my espresso because I add sugar to my coffee and the water helps it dissolve. So if you like sweetener or syrups or sugar, add it now before the espresso so that when the espresso comes down, it mixes nicely with the coffee, with the flavoring. And I'm going to reset my scale. So the rule of thumb for espresso is a doubling in 30 seconds. So whatever we put in, we want to double that in 30 seconds. We put in 23.5, or let's say 24. We want about 50 grams, 50 grams of coffee in the cup in the 30 seconds. The machine does have a single and a double brew button, and it's all customizable. You can customize obviously grind amount, your brew time, hot water amount, milk temperature and froth level. But in terms of the espresso, you can select a single or a double, and stock, that means 30 seconds for the double. So we will do a double because it's a double shot, not to confuse you with the fact that it's two different cups. It's one cup, one drink, but it's a double shot, so it's a strong coffee. So yeah, I'll press the double button. It'll brew for 30 seconds, and we'll need to look at how much coffee we get in 30 seconds. If we get too much, so much more than 50 grams, then that means our grind size is too large. If we get much less than 50 grams in the 30 seconds, that means our grind size is too fine and we need to increase it. Machine has got a timer on the screen, which is really nice. You don't have to get a timer or a stopwatch separate. I can tell that it's too fine because at this stage no coffee has flown. So I'll stop it. This is all part of the process. I'll stop it, increase the grind size to 22, let's say 22, and I'll try again. Okay. Again, I'm gonna make sure I dry my portafilter. Usually I would rinse it and clean it, but for time's sake, I won't do that. Change it to 22. And I'll let it run for 3 seconds more. After changing the grind size, you want to keep it running so you can get rid of the old grind size. So 3 seconds to just flush the old coffee, I guess. Same story, nicely polished surface, a bit of loose coffee that you can get rid of by flipping it upside down. Oh, I didn't reset my scale. But yeah, it usually is around 23, 24 grams. That's fine. Lock it in, and just like before, press the double button. That's better, but still a bit slower than I would like. I'm gonna let it run just because we've wasted enough coffee already. It's not ideal to let it stop and continue, but we'll work with what we have. So that's at grind size 22. In this case, I would do another coffee at 25 and see how we go. Obviously, different beans will behave differently. So if you have older beans, they will brew quickly. If you have new beans, they will be slow like this. So my beans have been stored in a vacuum canister that probably explains why they haven't they haven't needed a small grind size. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on 25 just to set it up for you. But yeah, make a coffee and see how you go, and follow my instructions of if you get much more than 50 grams of this is what I think this is 50 grams. Yeah, that's 48 grams exactly. Let me show you what that looks like. 48 and a half. Sorry about the mess, but yeah, this is what it looks like in a transparent cup. So you can just work by eye. You don't have to get a scale if you don't have one, but it helps in my case. 50 grams in 30 seconds. In this case, it took us much longer than that because our grind size was too fine. So yeah, make a coffee at 25 and see how you go. I guess we can do the milk now, and then for that, I'll just purge before starting, just to get rid of any steam, any condensation in the steam wand. Put it like that. Try to center the wand in the milk, and try to use cold milk. It will froth better. And in terms of the level of the milk, you want it to be at least here, maybe a bit close to the spout curve here, the spout line. If it's too little, obviously the wand won't make contact with the milk jug, with the milk surface. I'm gonna clean the machine as I'm doing this thing. Give it a flush. And every now and then it would be nice to get a tissue and wipe the group head seal and the group head shower screen. Oh, delicious. This is very important. When the steamer is done, grab a wet towel or tablecloth. It has to be wet. Slowly take the jug out, and in one motion, as you do that, wipe the wand. The wand gets really hot. It is made of metal, as you can see. So steam metal gets really hot, over 100 degrees. So it will bake and stick to the milk. Bake the milk literally on it, and you'll get a thick layer of milk if you don't clean it immediately. So that's what I would do every time I make a coffee on this machine. And then when you push it down, it will clean itself. So it will pulse 5 times to clear that that milk from the holes, or the holes on the tip. You've got 4 of them, and you don't want them to be blocked, otherwise you might A, not get any steam next morning, B, you might burst a seal on the inside, which is rare, but it can happen. So that's the froth level on 5. So not even the max froth, it goes I think all the way to 7 or 8. 9 I believe. Yeah, it goes all the way to 9. So this isn't the largest amount of froth by any means, but it's a decent amount actually. I'm gonna knock the jug on the counter to break any big air bubbles, then swirl it around to mix up that foam with that milk. Do this a few times until the surface is nice and smooth, which now it is. and done. With some practice, I think you can do latte art with this machine. Certainly in the manual mode, you can do latte art. The automated setting is decent, but I haven't been able to do latte art with the automatic setting. Maybe if you put the froth on the higher levels, you can. But in my case, I only could do latte art on the manual mode, and that's certainly an option. You can just raise the wand, and it'll allow you to steam manually. It says manual. So you can hold the jug like a barista, etc. Here's the final product. No art this time, but at least it's a coffee I'm looking forward to drinking. I'm sure you can do better coffees on your Oracle. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your purchase. Yeah, enjoy the machine, and please don't hesitate if you have any questions. Cheers.